Some people think that money isn't important, but I disagree. I believe money is important. Now, of course, money is not more important than life. Money is not more important than family. Money is not more important than God, right? But money is important. I like to say it like this. I'm put it on the screen here for you. Money is not important enough for you to chase all your life, but money is important enough to have it chase you all your life. Walk with me. Listen, I'm Billy Miller, the motivational minister, and I love to read books. And in this particular book recommendation, we're going to be talking about a book called Cash Flow Quadrants. But before we get to that, I'm sorry, did I say that right? Cash Flow Quadrant. All right. But before we get to that, listen, money is important. And when you listen to people who are struggling, listen to people who are going through hard times, a lot of times it's because of a lack of money or some sort of financial hardship. No, the Bible says that the destruction of the poor is their poverty. Listen, you got to learn how to get financial literacy. You need to learn how to listen. Don't work crazy for money, but find ways to make money work crazy for you. And that's why, and a lot of people don't know that, and so they struggle and they be on the verge of wanting to give up. But listen, you can't quit now. And if that's you, listen, I have a free gift for you. I have a book called You Can't Quit Now that I want to give to you for free. If you would like it, just comment book in the comment section. Even if you're not going through a financial hardship and you're not in that situation, but you just want a free book to have a good resource to help motivate you to pursue and keep going when times do get hard. Comment book in the comment section and I'm going to give it to you. But listen, even the Bible says that in Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 19, this is the easy to read translation. It says, but money solves a lot of problems. Money solves a lot of problems. So listen, I don't have time to go into the myths that people believe about money. And so if you just have an issue with learning about money, then please just escape the channel, swipe to the next video. But if you're a person that says, "Hey, I'm not letting money be my God, but I do want to learn how to master money and have it work for me." Listen, I have a book that I want to recommend in this Billy Reed's recommendation. And see, I've read a lot of books. I've read hundreds, if not 1,000 books, and books that have impacted me. Books have changed my life. That's what this channel is all about. I'm sharing with you books that have benefited me, impacted me, and helped me get results. And I want to share them with you. And this one particular book is called Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. And a lot of you have heard of Robert Kiyosaki before because he's also the author of this popular book right here called Rich Dad Poor Dad. This is a popular book. If you haven't heard of any of his other books, you most definitely heard of this book. This book was a very successful book. He wrote this book years ago, but it's still like a highly recommended book. You know, the self-publishing guru himself named Dan Pointer told me once, he said, the way you know that a book is successful is when people pretend that they've read it. That's how you know when your book has reached the ultimate height, is when people pretend that they read it. You'll see people pretending that they read this book, even though they haven't read it because it's just that popular. Well, this is his first book, and Rich Dad Poor Dad is a story about uh, his biological father, which was his poor dad, had a poverty mentality, but his best friend's father had a wealthy mentality, and he taught him, and he wrote all the principles in this book. To me, this is not a book teaching you how to get rich or anything, but it's a book that helps you to renew your mind where wealth is concerned. Remember, I told you people have a lot of money myths or misconceptions about money. I think this is a good book to read to renew your mind where wealth is concerned. But also, uh, very good book. It's popular for a reason. But my favorite one is his second book, Cash Flow Quadrant. And that's the book that I want to talk about today. because this book helped impact my life. And as a matter of fact, I think it's even written in here that it's the Rich Dad Poor Dad Part Two. So this is his second book. You might not have heard of this one. This one might not be as popular, but it still sold a lot too. But this book is the book we're going to talk about today. And any of these books that I mentioned, even the Rich Dad Poor Dad, or this book, or any of the books that I mentioned during this Billie Reads series, the link to the description, the link to the books is in the description of this video. If you want to download the ebook or purchase the paperback copy, I have my Amazon affiliate links in below. So if you order through that link, and I get a small commission. This is what I love Reese's peanut butter cups. This is how I help fund. I don't hit my mic. This is how I help fund my Reese's addiction. So anyway, so listen, I'm not getting rich off of this or anything, trust me. But help me out. Hit the affiliate link if you do decide to get the book, and help me get a Reese's cup. All right. And so let's talk about the book. Let's see. Let me explain what the cash flow quadrant is. As a matter of fact, let's see here. Let me put it up on the screen here so you can see it. Hold on. I'm coming. Let's see. This is this one. Yeah. Okay. So this is the cash flow quadrant. Listen, I'm not gonna take you that. It's not gonna take me that long to break this principle down. So just walk with me and stay with me. All right. So you see the E at top. That stands for employee. And you see over on the right, I got the letters broken down. So E is for employee. So this is showing you how people make their money. And a lot of people are in this E category. A lot of you have jobs. A lot of you watch me right now. You have a job, and this is how you make your money. And that's okay. And then there's nothing wrong with that. You may have a good paying job. You might have got to have a job that's paying $65,000 a year, or $100,000, or 25,000. But either way it go, you just got to know somewhere in your knower that this is not going to lead you to wealth. It's not. It can help you to get there, of course, but don't think your job is going to pay uh, pay for your situation. As a matter of fact, let me read something out of this book that he says. He says, the reality is your boss's job is not to make you rich. So listen, I'm going to read, you just listen. The reality is your boss's job is not to make you rich. Your boss's job is to make sure you get your paycheck. It is your job to become rich if you want to. And that job begins the moment you receive your paycheck. If you have if you have a poor money management skills, if you have poor money management skills, then all of the money in the world cannot save you. That's so good right there, because if you have a poverty mentality, all of the money in the world is not going to save you. That's why you read about people who win the lottery, after a few years they go broke and be about suicidal. Why? Because they got a lot of money, but they never renewed their mind, and they didn't get their mind right. Listen, you're going to have to get your mind right. Financial freedom is a mindset. Financial freedom doesn't mean you have a lot of money. Financial freedom is a mindset. It'll eventually lead to get more money. It'll eventually lead to accumulating more, right? But it first starts in the mindset. So you'll be financially free long before you're debt free. Chew on that for a minute. And so most people are in the E category. Most people are in the E category, but uh, just know that, listen, your job is not going to make you wealthy. All right, but you can use that money to to help you get wealthy, right? To buy books, to invest in different things. All right. So look at the S. The S stands for self-employed. So some people go and they become self-employed, and self-employed is good too. Maybe you do hair. Maybe you a dentist, right? Maybe you're a cook. Maybe you started a food truck. So you're self-employed, and so the difference between us, this and a business, we're about to get to a business in a minute, is that you pretty much just own a job. So at first you had a job, but now you own a job. And and let me explain what he's. Let me read something he wrote in here too about that, just to kind of help you get an idea. Let's see if I can find it here. All right, I'm gonna read. You just listen. He says, like a dentist spends years in school learning to become a self-contained system. You, as the client, get a toothache. You go see your dentist. He fixes your tooth. You pay and go home. You're happy and then tell all your friends about your great dentist. In most cases, the dentist can do the entire job by himself. The problem is that if the dentist goes on vacation, so does his income. So that's the difference between the self-employed, and we're about to get to a business in a minute. Is that, yeah, and you can have a lucrative business. You can be self-employed and do good. But the problem is when you go on vacation, now your income stops. It requires you to be there. It requires you to if you're doing hair and you may be booked, but if you're not there, then you don't make the money. So that's the difference between the self-employed and the business. So in a business, the B, it says you which stands for business owner, you own a system, uh, and the system or people work for you. So the difference between a business and self-employed is a business. You don't have to be there. It's a system that operates and works even when you're not there. Are you following what I'm saying? So that's what you want to create is a business. I remember, one of my goals. I'm a author myself, and one of my goals is to be a full-time author, right? And so, but I worked when I worked two jobs when I first started writing books. I had my first book. I had one job, but I've written four books there right here. So I've written four books, and but I did that working a job, and I still work a job at the time of this video. But I did what I had to do. So listen, what I'm about to say. You do what you have to do. Start your business part time and work your job full time until your business become full time. Let me say that again, because I don't want you to make excuses or not get started because you're not there yet. Are you following me? So listen, go ahead and do your vision part time while you're working your job full time. Do your vision part time until it can become full time, until you can fire your job. That was for somebody. I don't know who that was for. But I want to be a full time author. That's my desire. That's my goal. That's what I want to do. And so I pray about it all the time. Lord, I want to be a full time author. So me and God was having a conversation once, and He said, "Well, why aren't you doing it?" I said, "Well, I got to work a job, right?" He says, "Why are you working a job?" I said, "Well, because I have to pay bills, right? So I can't be a full time author because I got to spend 8 hours a day exchanging my time for a paycheck." That's what a job is exchanging your time for a paycheck. So that's 8 hours that I could be writing, but I can't because I need to work this job and exchange that time to get a paycheck. So he says, "Well, why do you have a job?" I said, "Well, I had to pay bills." He says, "Well, then you need to build something that will pay your bills." Chew on that for a minute. He says you need to build something. You need to build a system that'll pay your bills. You need to build a system that doesn't require you to be there to pay your bills. And now you have the free time to do this thing. Are you understanding? Let me read you something else out of here right quick. I just thought about something. I like this right here. He says, uh, remember I told you his biological father, talking about Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, and this book here, right? Remember, he had a rich dad, was his best friend's father, who taught him all the stuff about finances. But his biological father was his poor dad because he had a poverty mentality. Well, his rich dad taught him. This is what he taught him. He said, he says He thought it foolish to spend your life working for money and to pretend that money was not important, right? He says his rich dad believed that life was more important than money, but money was important for supporting life. Kind of like what we talked about in the beginning of this video. His rich dad often said, you only have so many hours in a day and you can only work so hard. So why work hard for money? Learn to have money. I'm sorry. Learn to have money and people work hard for you. And you can be free to do the things that are important. So get that. Learn to create a system that doesn't require you to be there. So now that you have more free time to do the things that are important. Important things like having lots of time to raise your kids. Important things like having money to donate to charities and projects you support. Important things like bringing jobs and financial stability to the community. Important things like having time and money to take care of your health. Important things like being able to travel the world with your family. Got it? Oh man, that ties right in with that quote that I put in there earlier. I got to put it up here one more time. Money is not important enough for you to chase all your life, but money is important enough to have it chase you all your life. Take a screenshot of that. Take a screenshot of that. Oh man, this, like I said, this is a book that I recommend. It got all four of those cash flow quadrants in there. Oh, I forgot the last one. I'm gonna just mention it. The last one is the I, and this is where you invest. This is talking about becoming an investor, where you learn how to make your money work for you. You can wake up, go to bed, wake up, and you haven't clocked in, but your money has worked for you. Uh, get this book. The link is in the comment section of this video. Listen, uh, also check this out. Check this out right quick. Hey, I want to take this quick moment to tell you that not only do I love reading books, I also love writing them too. And I want you to check out the books that I wrote. I'm a #1 Amazon bestseller, and my books change lives. Just like the shirt says, I write books that change lives. You see them right here beside me. Listen, to find out more about it, look in the description of this video and find out more about how you can get the ebook or the paperback copy. Now let's get back to this powerful teaching. Also, I have these t-shirts right here. If you're a book reader, if you love books like I do, I'm assuming that's why you're on this channel. Listen, this shirt is in the description of this video too. I also have another one that says, I read books and at some point I eat. Listen, get the book, Cash Flow Quadrant. You got the ebook, you have the paperback copy. The links is in the description. Listen, I love y'all. Y'all take care. Y'all stay up. Y'all stay blessed. And always remember that the word is your life.